I'm going to go in real closely here. So we're talking about areas around Jefferson Park, East Rockingham, Church Street, Rockingham Road. You're in downtown Rockingham right here. You can see some of the streets there. I'll start putting some of them on here just so you guys can see. There's 74. That's Business 74 there in the middle. And then right in downtown Rockingham, right in there. So this is heading right over the city of Rockingham. Let's go back to the velocity data here. I'm going to try to switch this real quickly. There we go. We'll turn that off. And again, it looks like that circulation is just there around Jefferson Park. That's the area where the circulation is. And if you look carefully, I'm going to turn off the lightning here. We can see that we've got really strong winds. These blue shades are coming in this direction. The green is a little bit weaker winds in this direction. So there's a little bit of a shear couplet right there. So we've got rotation right in there. And again, if we were to continue to track that to the northeast, I'm going to put a track right here. It's going right over downtown Rockingham. So in Rockingham, please seek shelter. Lowest floor of your house. I know there's probably trick-or-treaters out in this area. If they're out there, get to the closest building. You may not know. Maybe it's a store. Maybe it's a gas station. Get to shelter. You need to be inside, away from all the debris and those exterior walls, especially glass. Get away from the windows as well and head towards the middle of whatever building you're in. A bathroom with no windows is great. Storeroom, anything in the middle of the house. Or buildings you're heading, it's heading up towards the Rockingham area, then heading into the Southern Pines area as it continues to track off to the north and east. And again, this is a tornado warning for central Rockingham County. I'm going to continue to in Richmond County, not Rockingham County, that's up towards the Virginia border, for Rockingham in Richmond County. So again, tornado warning currently in effect. Let me widen this out. We'll loop this a couple of times. You can see the movement of the storm. Actually looks to be moving a little bit to the east now that I looped that a couple of times. So let me readjust our track. I'm going to do it more in this direction, which means it's going to take it closer to Hoffman and eventually 5 Points as it moves towards Scotland County. So East Rockingham, 804, Hamlet, 808, Marston around 820, and Hoffman about 825 as it continues to push off to the east. So right now at 8:02, tornado warning still in effect. Radar indicates it's a possible tornado right around Rockingham and moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So let's do the updated track as it's picking up some speed. It was moving about 40 earlier. We'll put it at 45, which will give us a new track here. So here's your updated track. Anson County, you've been removed from the warning, which means now we just got Richmond County and Scotland County. So there's the storm. Rotation in the storm right about there. It is literally right over downtown Rockingham. Heading towards, let me move that over so you guys can see that. Let me grab that with my finger, see if we can grab it here and move it over here. We can't grab it with the screen, so we'll grab the cursor. It's moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour so you can get those times. Those times are really crucial. Move it just a little bit over there. So 803, Oak Ridge Park. 804, East Rockingham. Right over downtown Rockingham. It's essentially over Rockingham right now. And then heading towards the Hoffman area at 823, and then Narrow Ridge at around 8:28 p.m. And again, the circulation looks like it might be weakening just a hair. Now that I look at the radar here. So we're starting to lose. Let me look at a different circulation here. It's so far away from the radar. We're just having a tough time seeing it. It's really far away from the Raleigh-Durham radar, which is the area of coverage that the Weather Service has in this area. So the circulation is not ideal to get a good look at this. But again, severe thunderstorm, possibly producing a tornado, pushing to the northeast at 45 miles an hour near the city of Rockingham. I'm checking to see if spotters, I got a lot of spotters over in that area. Anybody in that area? So yeah, one of my spotters over in that area, very sharp lightning just north of Rockingham, and starting to see some gusty winds in that area. So yeah, we're starting to see some pretty strong winds in Rockingham. Some of the viewers in that area are reporting really strong winds, and we're seeing lightning strikes, but I'm not seeing a lot. I'm going to put the lightning back up here because I'm wondering if we're not seeing some power flashes because there's not a ton of lightning in this storm currently. There certainly could be some cloud-to-cloud lightning, but it would appear that we might have some power flashes. So either straight line winds are causing some issues there. Let me look at the debris signature, see if we can see anything as far as a debris signature is concerned. So we're going to look at the Raleigh correlation coefficient here, which is, there's a little hint of maybe some debris there, probably leaves, to be honest with you. In this type of setup, this time of year, we tend to get leaves picking up on the radar quite a bit if we get tornadoes, because they get lofted into the air, and the radar can actually pick up the lofted debris. In this case, it would be leaves coming off the trees. So again, tornado warning currently in effect for Richmond County till 8:15. That's about 10 minutes from now. Looking at the actual circulation, let me widen this out just a hair more. And I'm going to do an updated storm track as it moves towards Southern Pines. So let's update that. Cognac right there at 8:12, Hoffman at 8:19. And then you're looking at basically areas just near Pinehurst would be closer to about 8:30 this evening. So again, if you have friends or family in the Southern Pines area, tell them this is heading their way. But we're really worried about the people right now in the Rockingham area. And Hamlet, this is going to pass just here north. It looks like you'll escape the worst of this, but it's going to be too close. So in Hamlet, Rockingham, East Rockingham, everybody seek shelter, stay on that lowest level of your home. That's the area that we're watching for potentially rotation in the storm. The Doppler radar, we're starting to get some cloud to ground lightning. As I was just saying, there wasn't a ton of lightning. There it is starting to explode. So that thing's intensifying once again as it pushes to the north and the east. So we're going to zoom in a little bit close. Thank you, Chris. Right there. So the circulation is right in this vicinity. So heading straight up towards areas towards Highway 1 as you go towards Hoffman, Marston, Cognac. So there's 177 and there's Highway 1, US 1. It's a very famous highway coming right there through Rockingham. If you ever come out of there going to the northeast. So that's moving off in this direction. The circulation is right here. Very broad level of circulation in that vicinity, pushing towards areas around Hoffman. So thanks, Chris Mulcahy's here pushing that velocity data. 62 mile-an-hour winds there, 60 up here, and 59 here. So we've got really strong winds. At the very minimum, we're getting damaging straight line winds. So for what I'm getting from a lot of the reports out of the Rockingham area, people are seeing these strong winds and can't see anything in this setup. You are looking at basically zero visibility at night with heavy rain and everything else going on. But those storms continue to produce a possible tornado in Richmond County to the north and east. And I'm looking at the circulation there, Chris. It is pretty nice little couplet right there on the northeast side of Rockingham.
Yeah, and you brought this up, Brad. The biggest problem that you have with one of these is it is kind of outside of where most radar sites are, so it's a little bit tougher to see. But this one you're seeing a little bit better than the one that we saw further over in Anson County. And this is also a lot more populated of an area. We were kind of in the middle of nowhere in sort of the northern parts of Anson County. Yeah. This is a very populated area where it was just around Rockingham in general. So just heed warning, a lot of people still live in Richmond County. I know this is just outside of many of the people watching on TV right now. Still a dangerous situation because outside if this is a tornado or not, you're still dealing with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And Brad, we were out there. We saw a lot of damage. I'm sure you're going to be doing a lot of raking over the weekend. And just in general, behind this is such a powerful front. If you've been out there, likely you need a jacket because it's getting really chilly out there. We had gusts up to 30 miles per hour before this front even came in, which was knocking down trees. This is also a saturating rain, so there's a good chance a lot of those, especially large oak trees, could be coming down with this. So this is almost done for our area, but of course it has one last breath along this line. Yeah, Chris, I was just getting a text. We have a lot of spotters over in that area, and I got a text from somebody in Greenville area in Richmond County saying strong winds and loads of cloud to ground lightning, and that's very close to Rockingham. So getting a lot, that's a similar report to what I had earlier of a lot of wind and a lot of lightning. So we're getting a lot of lightning reports, and some of the storms we've seen today haven't had a ton of lightning in them. And every time we see what we call a lightning jump, where we see lightning spike like this, go up from nothing to a whole bunch in a short period of time, 30 plus strikes there, we know that updraft is getting very strong in that storm. So at the very least, we're getting damaging straight line winds.
Hopefully all those trick-or-treaters are in a safe spot right now. We do not want to have them out in this kind of scenario because the lightning, 1, is really, really dangerous. 2, the damaging winds, and then we've got the tornado. So we've got 3 threats right now with this storm. And you can see as Chris puts our Doppler slicer on there, how tall this storm has gotten. Up there, this is over 40,000 feet, one of the taller storms we've seen today there in the Richmond area, right around Rockingham. So this is going to head towards Scotland County and eventually Southern Pines. Those areas up in there could be impacted as well. This is really at the eastern part of our viewing area in Richmond County. They watch us. We're the station for them. So Rockingham, we're looking out for you out there as that storm is sitting right on you, beginning to exit east. So Hamlet and Rockingham, you're getting it right now, but heads up in Hoffman. Next stop as this pushes off towards Hoffman, Pine Bluff, and then Pinehurst and Southern Pines up in that area. So thanks, Chris. There's the updated storm track. And again, we've seen almost the exact same towns. And notice the timeline here, 8:17, 8:19, 8:24, and then 8:30. Now the warning is set to expire at 8:15. They're doing short fuse warnings. And what we mean by that is the warnings aren't lasting very long because these type of tornadoes spin up very quickly and they go away very quickly. So sometimes they spin up, the warning comes out, and sometimes the spin is already gone. But in this case, we've got a pretty good signature there that continues. And this line, it's one of those squiggly lines as it moves towards the east. Once it gets east of Rockingham, it's going to be out of our viewing area, and at 8:15, we're going to be done either way with warning on this. But I know we've got a lot of viewers and friends and people out here that don't pick us up over the air, but out here in parts of Scotland County and then heading up in towards the Southern Pines area, you need to let those people know as well. There's likely going to be additional warnings, at least severe thunderstorm warnings associated with this. They are definitely going to probably put at least a severe thunderstorm warning east of here. But again, right around Hoffman, you're next. Rockingham, you're seeing the lightning. It just exited there, heading out towards the east. There's Ellerby, there's Rockingham, so the worst of it's pushed out. Right there, yeah, Chris, there's some really strong wind.
Yeah, getting over 70 miles per hour. So that could be really indicative of an EF0 or just a strong, strong damaging wind gust. 58 miles per hour, Brad, is the threshold.
Yeah.
When you start getting up to 70, that's significant damage.
Yeah, so at the very least, we're getting damaging straight line winds out of this storm. And the fact that we've got lighter greens here is kind of an indication we're getting some type of circulation in there, and that's that couplet that they're warning on. Now, this is probably higher up. What's going on down the surface is always a difficult part of this, and when you're really far from the radar, you have a tough time seeing the lowest scans of the radar. But again, this is a tornado warning for Richmond County and Scotland County for another 2 minutes. This is about to exit our viewing area and go into Scotland County. And we're going to be joining your program already in progress here shortly, but we do want to stay on just for a couple more minutes here and just make sure everybody in this area knows, go to the lowest floor of your home, interior section, away from those outside walls, as many walls as possible. If it's 2, if it's 3, it's 4, get those between you and the outside. Also, lowest floor, you've got walls above you, ceilings and roofs. So that middle puts a lot of protection around you. No windows, we want no exterior doors, we don't want to be near the garage. Get there, get low, cover your head. Your head's the most important thing. Most people that get injured in these type of tornadoes don't get sucked up. They get stuff thrown at them. They get hit in the head. Head trauma is the #1 injury we see with tornadoes. So again, severe thunderstorm warnings east, but this is a tornado warning for Richmond County till 8:15. Our second warning of the evening for tornado. One was in northern Anson County and Richmond County. This is a completely separate cell, which is moving through the central part of Richmond County, and it moved right over Rockingham. So Chris, if there was a touchdown, we're likely going to have some confirmation here shortly because of all those people in the path of that. Right?
And a lot of our storm spotters, I actually met one out, Brad, when I was there earlier. His name was Devin. And Devin said that he's going to try to keep up with this line, but this line's been impossible because think about the traffic that a lot of people will be fighting about 6 o'clock. If you weren't already in Richmond County or Anson County, you have no chance. You're just going to be getting the damage in the wake of this. But if you're just joining us, this is coming to an end right here. But as those bright greens versus those bright blues that are always a cause of concern right up there. So a solid couplet. Brad keeps on bringing that up. That just means going away from the radar towards the radar. We can see it right there. The lightning also, whenever we see these positive lightning strikes, we see this time and time again, Brad, and it's amazing the winds that are coming from this gate to gate shear here. Whenever I'm seeing it, yes, it is a little bit further up. You're seeing winds at least, I would say, 60 miles per hour along this.
Yeah, Chris, exactly. So that tornado warning is set to expire here at 8:15, and there we go. It is expired, but severe thunderstorm warning to the east, possibility of further tornado warnings. Of course, if we see any more warnings in our viewing area, we'll cut back in and give you updates throughout the evening. We're now going to return to your programming, already in progress.
Chance, think again. We talked to a guy who claims to know which scratch-offs have the best odds of winning.
Too good to be true.